Hello, everyone. A little later in the day than normal. We were working with the pigs, so I'm covered in pig muck right now. But I felt kind of called to do a video before I go in and get showered up and get all this yuck off of me. It was a really good day. Our kids got to hold piglets and help try to catch them. We were sexing all of our piglets, and we have 6 girls and 3 boys. Mama and Daddy Pig were not happy we were messing with the piglets, but it was okay. Everybody was safe, and so it was a high stress but enjoyable now moment. And sometimes now moments are stressful or anxious. Um, the other day we had really super bad storms here. Um, and it was a day that I had to go to into Louisville, which is almost an hour away. No, I don't say Louisville like the people around here do. I'm a northerner. I say it wrong. But anyway, um, and I don't, I've mentioned this previously, but I don't like crossing the bridge into Louisville. And I was just really not looking forward to it in the rain. And of course, by the time we get to the bridge, it is just buckets. My windshield wipers on my car can't go up any higher. And then I hit a bump and I literally thought I had blown a tire. And I was just like, I took my foot off the gas and I'm like, because if you have a flat, that's what you need to do. And I was like, oh, okay. And uh, trying to think, what am I going to do? There's literally nowhere to go. They're doing construction on this bridge, so it's like it's just a barrel, and you have to go through the barrel. And I was like, oh. And I kept kind of listening, and I'm, starting to slow down, but not enough that anybody behind me should have been too upset. And if they were, I really didn't care. But it was one of those very hard now moments, and I was like, well, there's nothing I can do to control this. I can't make the tire magically work. I can't do anything. I'm just going to breathe through this. And I was clutching the steering wheel, and boy, that my knuckles were white as could be. I'm like, I'm just going to breathe through this. And I put my foot on the gas just to make sure if there was an issue with the tire. And it seemed like it was fine. And I was like, oh, thank goodness. And I just continued to go the right speed and everything, with this buckets full of rain coming down, um, and just continued to breathe because that was what was getting me through that moment. And by the time I made it to the other side, my fingertips literally no longer had blood flow because I was white knuckling it so hard. And there's those moments where you are afraid, you are in fear, you're in a very anxious moment, and you got to decide how you're going to handle it. And I don't think there was any other way I could have handled it, because there was nowhere to pull over. There was nothing else to do. You had to kind of keep going. And when I got done, instead of having a panic attack or anything like that maybe I would have done previously, I just kept breathing until my breathing became regular again, and was very grateful to be across the bridge, very grateful nothing was wrong with my tire, and very grateful to be going on my day. And I know how I would have handled that a while ago. I probably would have pulled over as soon as I could have gotten a chance, and really just freaked out and been checking the tire, and you know um, it would have just been a very different experience. And that would have been okay too, I suppose. But I was really proud of myself to see that growth. And I think you need to take stock, I guess, of how much you've grown. If you're trying to grow where you used to be and where you are now, and just knowing that, wow, there's so many things now and there's situations now that you're handling so much better than you ever did before. And that's an amazing, beautiful thing. You need to be celebrating you. And you also need to have compassion and love for yourself. I mean, I say this a lot, but compassion, love, and kindness for yourself when you are having one of those moments. I'd love to get over the fear of, bridges and all that stuff more, and I've dealt with it quite a bit, and I'm pretty proud of where I've come. And there's, I bet at some point I'll get even further, and that's awesome. But I'm okay with where I'm at now. I was really proud of how, having to do that. I could have woke up that morning and been like, nope, I'm not doing today. And that would have been okay too, I mean, like, you just have to celebrate where you're at now. And, I'm sure if I compare myself to somebody else, like if I compared myself to my husband's not scared of bridges. He's not scared of driving in the rain. He's not scared very much. And so if I compared myself to him, then I would feel very much in lack. But if I compare myself to myself, I see my progress. I see my achievements. And I think we really need to do that as individuals. The piglets are all nursing happily with mom right now. Well, except for the few that are fighting over the yummy teat, I guess. Celebrate you. Celebrate how far you've come, wherever you started this journey. If you can go to the grocery store now and your anxiety is reduced by half of what it was, that's awesome. If you can go into a new situation like a doctor's office or something like that, and you got through the appointment, and when you're walking in you're going, oh God, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. Be proud of yourself. Celebrate you. You don't, who cares if anybody else does? You celebrate you. You love you. You be kind to you. You have compassion for you. It really starts with you. And a lot of my growth, I don't know what they're doing. A lot of my growth, it really comes back to why is, it doesn't really have anything to do with anybody else. That's all like just bonus or extra. It's really, at the end of the day, what I think of me, how I feel about me. And a lot of that is undoing all of the programming that other people have put on me about myself. I saw a post about something along the lines of, little did I know when I thought I was fat in high school, that would be my thinnest weight, or something like that. And, I really thought about that, and all of the people that put this idea in my head that I was not beautiful or not worthy or not lovable or just lots of things because I was a heavier set girl. And that, I was like, oh, why? And some of these people really love and care about me. It just was misguided love, and that happens. And there's lots of that stuff that I have to love me and be happy with me as I am in this moment, as I was then too. And getting to that place is a really good thing. Somebody else had posted, this is probably a couple of months ago, a post about how much your body can change as a woman depending on where you're at in your cycle and things like that. And that was something naturally I try to wear a belt. I don't know if you can see it there, but I generally wear a belt. And I've noticed that. And when I stopped looking at my belt notch as a victory placement and just saw it as this is where my belt needs to be today, it was like lightning bolt. Like, my worthiness is not subjective to where my belt buckle is. My worthiness is just I'm worthy or not based on what I think of me. That's huge for me. That's huge growth for me. And when I look at things like that, I just want to like, man, I'm having a party in my head celebrating how amazing and momentous that is. And I know there's some people that are never going to get there with themselves. And it makes me sad for them, but that also makes me so happy and joyous for me too. And I think if we start comparing ourselves to, if we stop comparing ourselves to other people and we just compare, okay, if we just compare ourselves to ourselves, then a lot of things that are wrong with this world, like jealousy and envy and ego, those things go away. We don't need them anymore. How cool is that? So just, I don't know, lots of things to think about and consider. But if you have the time, celebrate you. Look back, even if even if it's you got out of bed today, celebrate that. If it's you went across a bridge and it was pouring buckets and you hate bridges and you hate driving in the rain, my goodness, celebrate that too. If it's you wrangled 9 little piglets with your 4 own kids and everybody was muddy and gross and yet you got it all done, I love it. Be proud of you. Have love and compassion and kindness for you. I hope you have a great evening, a great weekend. I'll talk to everyone soon.